are exempt from exposure to these risks, but armed with the intelligence which we have been taking all the precautions possible to ensure that we keep down to the barest minimum our level of exposure.
Mr. Stewart says the climate change conference in Paris is particularly important for small island developing states like Barbados. He says one of the intended outcomes is a binding agreement on more than 190 participating countries to limit their greenhouse gas emissions, which lead to climate change. The Prime Minister says that is critical given the impact of climate change related events on small island developing states.
When a climate event takes place in a Barbados or in a Dominica or Grenada, it is a national event. It touches every single person in the society because of our size, our compactness, the highly personalized nature of our societies. That is in stark contrast to a climate event happening in a country like the United States. Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Sandy. These were local events. These were not national events.
14 million Barbados dollars from the Inter-American Development Bank Loan Fund has been allocated to the Competency-Based Training Fund. Minister of Education, Science, Innovation and Technology Ronald Jones says, with so much money set aside for improving education, it's critical attention is paid to what is done in training workshops, in the classroom and in the workplace. Minister Jones was speaking at the Competency-Based Training Fund graduation ceremony of 200 students who now have CVQ and NVQ qualifications.
I don't think that we can thump our hearts and say that we have achieved it all, because there's still a large number of persons in our country who are not certified or certificated in any area of study, either academic or technical, vocational. So there's still much work to be done by all of our institutions in the private sector and in the public sector.
Also at the graduation ceremony was Minister of Labour, Social Security and Human Resource Development, Dr. Esther Beyer. She tells employers they must cooperate with their employees in order for them to truly see the return of their investment.
Don't allow them to be frustrated. Don't allow them to have to go home and say, but that's not what they taught us and that's not what we learned and that needs to change and this shouldn't happen. Allow them to be able to provide that insight to you and your management so that they can make the changes and that your workforce will benefit. After all, you invested in this program through them. So allow them now to be able to put back into your organization.
The much talked about solar farm by the Barbados Light and Power Company is a step closer to becoming a reality. Ground was broken at the site of the project at Trents in St. Lucie last evening. The farm will have 46 solar panels on 42 acres and will generate energy for Barbados. Acting Minister of Housing and Lands, Senator Dr. Esther Beyer highlights the significance of the project.
This will see a reduction annually of $11 million in fuel costs, and that should translate ultimately to a reduction in the cost of our electricity bill. It also means that there would be a $13,000 reduction, a 13,000-ton reduction in carbon dioxide that's emitted into the atmosphere. And this is important for Barbados. As you know, we are dealing with the issue of climate change and mitigating the effects of climate change.
Senator Beyer went on to add that the Light and Power is the pioneer and knows other companies will join in the green initiatives. However, she hopes companies will have the workforce in mind as they create these initiatives.
That they don't only consider the process and the plant, but they consider the people as well. The skills that they need the people to have. People that are currently working with them, school leavers who are coming out of school or who are in school and will be coming out of school, university people as well, to consider consulting with the workers, consider consulting with training institutions, consult with governments as well, so that persons have the capacity that they need. When they come out, they can find jobs in this area.
Groundbreaking. That's how Leader of Government Business in the Senate, Maxine McLean, has described the $170 million loan Barbados has secured from China's Exim Bank. The money is 85% of what is needed to build a new hotel on the grounds of the old Sam Lord's Castle in St. Philip. Government will provide the other 30%. Senator McLean says securing a loan of this type and size is a clear indication of China's confidence in Barbados' development strategy.
I know that we would have had discussions across this country on several occasions about the rating of this country, the implications of any decline in our ratings by the standard rating agencies, and the implications for borrowing internationally. But this comes against that background where there is clear confidence expressed in this government, in this country, and in the tourism sector that they are able to make a loan of that type.
Senator McLean says the redevelopment of the iconic Sam Lord's property will also allow Barbados to follow up its plans to entice more Chinese visitors to the island.
Very soon, we will see direct flights coming out of China into Cuba. We know the history of Cuba, we know the recent developments, and to me, it is a signal that there are opportunities on which we can capitalize, perhaps even to people or to fill the rooms that will be constructed and completed by 2018. So there is an opportunity for us to plan with the companies in China, with the government of China as the systems require.
Just a quick correction, that is 85% of money of the loan. Government will provide 15%. Well, coming up later in the news, our Coast to Coast Independence feature. But before we get to that, we want to hear from you on this question. Do you believe the new solar farm will result in lower electricity prices for Barbadians? Text yes or no to short code 8111. We'll have the results at the end of the news.
Time for fun, bring out the sun. Nutritious, so delicious. Way less sugar, no artificial sweeteners. Orchard, your natural choice. Orchard, with real fruit juice. Orchard, a celebration in each cup.
Orchard 250 ml juice drinks now deliciously improved. Free of artificial sweeteners. More natural goodness with between 33 to 55% less added sugar. Orchard, a perfectly natural choice.
Nestle. Good food, good life.
Distributed by Massey Distribution.
What are you doing?
Nothing, just paying the credit card bills and putting some money in our house account.
Oh, okay.
Scotiabank's online banking is convenient and safe. We never take a break from serving you. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
Enjoy the new Fruta Apple Blackcurrant. It's bursting with fruity flavor, 100% vitamin C, plus antioxidants to boost your metabolism and immunity. Taste the new Fruta Apple Blackcurrant today. Juiced right.
This week on Rejoice and Sing, Ghazi is using redemption music to win souls for the Lord.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, feel the vibes, good vibes, but let judge your spirit, let him take control, yeah, take control.
We get up close and personal with singer-songwriter Sherry Ann Mon.
I had to wait on God and wait for His timing. So now that it is the timing that I'm supposed to work with, it's an amazing feeling now.
And we feature the music video Blood by Jay Prince.
Oh, yeah. The blood of Jesus, break every chain. Hey, the blood of Jesus, break every chain.
Don't miss Rejoice and Sing. Brought to you with the good wishes of Sewing World Department Store and Black Image Cosmetique for all your curtain needs this holiday season.
Start your weekend early with Q in the Community Thursday and Saturday. Join the Barbados Agricultural Advancement Aid for a special Q in the Community this Saturday, November 21st at the Bridgefield Playing Field, St. Thomas. Come for dancing, karaoke competition, and lots more. It's a Q Weekend, sponsored by Steig, the official beer of Q in the community, and Jewers Whiskey. Tune into 100.7 FM or join our Facebook page for more details.
Barbados is one of the best examples of links between trade and services and tourism in the Caribbean. But the island could benefit much more from the industry if it adopts a greater sophisticated approach to the sector. This assessment from Dr. Keith Nurse, Senior Fellow at the Sir Arthur Lewis Institute of Social and Economic Studies. He made the observation during a presentation on the topic Tourism, Trade and Services and the Global Value Chain in Barbados. Dr. Nurse says the industry's performance is usually measured by airlift and room occupancy. However, he says not enough attention is paid to the contribution of the many supporting services and their potential to do even more. He singles out villa management as an example of one such service that is now being exported.
Because Barbados is one of the most well-developed tourism destination markets, they've been able to use, because they have a certain level of critical mass and a certain scale, they services in other locations in the Caribbean. If we were to actually support this as a element of the sector, we could actually, this could actually be the key element of the tourism sector, rather than the provision of services only to tourists.
Veteran trade unionist and former president of the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union, Phil Perry, is dead. Mr. Perry, a former English teacher at the Alexandra School, was also president of the St. James North District Emergency Organization and head of the National Council for Parent Teachers Associations. In recent times, he served as president of the BSTU Credit Union. Mr. Perry was also a featured speaker at the weekly lunchtime lecture of the Democratic Labour Party. He was also a businessman, having opened the San Briton Mall in Speightstown only in August. President of the BSTU, Mary Ann Redmond, described Perry as a serious and committed trade unionist. Well, still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines across the region. But first, we want to hear from you on this question. Do you believe the new solar farm will result in lower electricity prices for Barbadians?